So I'm just going to make a brief disclaimer. There will be a part in this workshop where we will be sort of doing a partner massage, touching. So if like being touched by someone is something that is like not a lot, something that works for you, then feel free to just be like, I don't give consent, and just sort of step aside. For those that do choose to get involved, then you'll sort of, there's sanitizer and all those other things. But that's the only disclaimer that we need to say. And without further ado, I will present to you Matthew Lee Robinson.
Hi, hey everybody. You will get to know very quickly by my accent. I'm originally from Australia, although I'm a brand new citizen this year. So, which is very handy on a day like today. So essentially, today is inspired by the fact that my mother was I'd say primary school, elementary, middle school equivalent teacher for 45 years in Australia. Many of my family are teachers, classroom teachers. And over the years, I watched them struggle with vocal fatigue. Energetic fatigue, as you can imagine, as you would well be aware, but also vocal fatigue. And so I spent the sort of triumvirate of my life, just as an intro is, so I performed in big budget musicals for a long time. Like my lead roles at the Opera House with Opera Australia's musicals, that sort of thing. The other piece of that is I compose musicals, and so I moved to New York to compose musicals. You can imagine this is not a bad place to be for that. And the third part is I've been a vocal coach for 22 years. And so that's what brings us here to today. I would very much like for you to feel almost immediately, within 5 minutes of today, I would like you to feel centered and gentle with yourselves and calm and put together. And by the end of today, what I'd love for you to walk away with, and we've got a little video rolling so we can look back on it later as well, is I'm going to give you a series of exercises. I'm going to give you a series of exercises that hopefully you didn't even know that you needed before today. That is what I wish for you to walk away with. Essentially, these done in a row are fantastic to do first thing in the morning. Yeah, these are the things I would give to people before their Broadway shows to do as warm-ups. But I believe that classroom teachers are as much athletes as Broadway actors are, as I imagine you are very familiar with. So I'm going to get us to stand up with to start. Let's just gather in a circle. Perhaps an oval. Great. Now this is a little bit of a focusing exercise. Half of the things today I've picked up from physiotherapists, PTs, that sort of thing. It's anecdotal. I mean, it's maybe obvious, but worth saying I'm not a medical doctor. But all of these things put together have saved me on so many occasions, whether it's in front of 2,000 people in a theatre or in front of hundreds of kids in a group arts education space. So the first thing, but half of them I came up with myself. I kind of created them for myself, often for self-soothing, both physical and sort of emotional. And now I hand them over to people and they're like, oh my gosh, I tell that to my mom now, or I tell that to my partner. And I'm like, oh, that's so great. And I love that you're passing that along. So the first thing is something I created for myself and for the people I work with. And I call it the energetic spine. So you're like, are we doing this now? Are we doing this? I know Rebecca from before. She does some of these things. This is not unuseful on a day like today, this first thing, but it's especially useful. You may want to pass it on to your students. They may need to be a little bit sort of emotionally aware in order to apply it, but with adults, it's pretty straightforward. Do you want to join? Please join. All right, so maybe get a little closer. Now, I'm just going to ask you to move your weight from your toes to the heels. That's all we're going to do. So just gently from the heels to the toes. Let's not go too far. By the way, almost everything I'm about to share with you today, I would love for you to apply, think of it like a 5 to 10% exercise, not a 40, 50, 60% exercise. Fantastic. So we're going to start slowing down this pendulum. And where I'd love you to rest is through the knuckles of the big toe. If this was my big toe here, I would want just a little bit of energy through the knuckle of the big toe, not the actual big toes themselves. Does that make sense? It's almost like we'd be ready to walk forward, but we're not. Okay, that may feel slightly more forward than usual, but We're just going to leave it there. We're going to take our shoulders for a roll. There may be some cricks and cracks that go on as we do this. Now, some people will lead through their elbows. Do not lead with your elbows. Let this purely be a shoulder experience. Just a shoulder experience. Could you lift through the crown of the head while you're doing it so the spine remains neutral? Now, some people are leading with their chins. This is going to be part of the conversation. Could you, I'm going to stop for a second, shake the hands out. I find shaking hands like an etch-a-sketch. It's like, we're just going to etch-a-sketch for a moment. Can you now take your hands? If you have mid to long hair, maybe pull it aside if possible. Maybe we're about to do something to the neck. Could you, I think of this like brushing a horse. Could you, from the nape of the neck into the base of the hairline, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all it really takes. Let's try that again. Now try and stay lifted if you can. I know, we're just pulling and do that. Can we do 5 again? 1, 2, 3. Let's do 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can you feel that you're mildly energized through the skull now? That's where we're going to leave the head. And now we're going to come back to this. We're going to leave the head where we just left it. We're going to do full circles, try and hit the full circumference of this. Let's not go too fast. Let's let this be a Karate Kid moment, wax on, wax off. It's the tiny things that we're going to be focusing on today. Could you particularly enjoy the back half of this circle? Here's the back half. Really enjoy that. And let's really enjoy it again. Any of the sitting on couches, hunching over tables as over lunch, texting, computer work, we are trying to undo a lot of that. Let's do one more of these, and then I'm going to ask you to try and drop the shoulders a little bit further back than they were before. At this point, I just want to make the point that the top ribs are this high in the body. Rib, 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 rib. Here are the top ribs. So I'm asking you essentially, it was described to me once and I've loved it ever since, to stack the ribs. Can you just let the shoulders fall forward for a second? And now if you think of not being a good person, good boy, girl, whoever else, I'm actually just asking you to stack the ribs. Can you tell that that's an ever so slightly better way to describe posture? Okay, excellent. So we're going to come to this thing that I call the energetic spine. I'm going to ask you probably to start with your hands on your sternum. Try and maintain the stacking of the ribs as you do this. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Try and keep lifting through the crown of the head like we established earlier, in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more in through the nose, and now as you breathe out, let your hands fall by your side with your eyes closed. Hands are now beside your body. Hands are now dropped from the sternum down to the sides. I'd love you to keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. I'm not going to keep mentioning that, I'm just going to ask you to keep doing that while I speak. So, on a day like today, let alone any other day, often our minds are in one or more different places. One way to describe this to other people, if you ever want to use this in the future, is audition rooms or pre-performance, or even pre-class. Any moment where you or the people you might describe this to are going to walk into a space where they're a bit nervous about something. Keep it going in through the nose and out through the mouth. You may notice already you forgot to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's keep rotating that. As I say, this is for the moments where we feel that there's some sort of schism in our attention. So the first thing we're going to do, and hopefully, unfortunately, but hopefully for the purposes of today, you are a bit distracted. Maybe your mind is on the obvious events of today. Pretty big day for the US. But then every day is a big day in relation to something usually. I would love for you to identify, is there something that you are distracted by today? Is mum, is dad going through something? Did you forget something and leave it at home? Is one of your students troubled by something? Are you troubled by something? Did you leave the oven on? Or are you worried that you left the oven on? Any version of these things. Please identify now the primary distractor today. What are you most worried about that is not within your body? Something or someone or somewhere else that has your attention. Give me the gentlest of nods with your eyes closed if you have identified that thing. If you haven't, try and identify one thing that may not be a huge concern, that might be a mild concern, that someone or something else is pulling your attention. Now that you've identified that thing or that place or that person, I am now going to ask you to notice that in that thing, place, or person taking your attention, you have given away your energetic spine, the thing that makes you able to stand tall, extended in yourself. And now I would like you to imagine that if it's a person, for example, that they are holding on to your spine, wherever it is in this world of ours, in this city, state, country, or world, that place or that person, that thing is holding onto your spine. If you like, you might like to color it a particular color. I know what my color usually tends to be, but what's yours? It's likely to be a little bit electric, to certainly have some energy moving through it. In through the nose, out through the mouth. If at any point you feel a little bit dizzy or any such thing, feel free to sit down, that's okay. You're oxygenating in a big way at the moment. Congratulations. I now want you to imagine that that spine is floating back towards where you are standing today. Visualize that spine moving towards you. Whoever had hold of it, it is now out of their hands. If your attention is just on something someone said at lunch, the spine doesn't have that far to travel. If your attention is on someone in Sydney, Australia, it might have a bit further to travel, wherever it's coming from. Now let's bring that spine back towards you. Maybe it's floating over an ocean right now, maybe it's coming up the street, maybe it's coming across Ohio and Kansas. Wherever it's coming from, it's coming back towards you. Let's fasten it up now. Let's pretend wherever it is, it's certainly in New York City. Let's bring it down a street, let's bring it down an avenue, let's now bring it up 19th Street. Let's bring it in through the front doors, or if you prefer, through the windows of the front of this building. You get to choose. That energetic spine, which is your own particular color, is now coming up to this floor. It is now coming along the hallway. It is now floating through the door. Doesn't matter if the door's closed. It has the power to transmutate its way through walls and doors. Your spine is now in this room. And now, see it floating towards you. It is yours. It is now going to float in through your back and going to rejoin you. As it does so, I want you to feel the warmth of it, the strength of it, the color of it, the electricity of it. You may feel energy now running through your limbs as a result. Thank it for returning to you and allow yourself to feel comfortable and at home and centered and at peace. Your attention is now nowhere else but within you. When you are ready, slowly open your eyes, bring your attention back into the room. Great. Thank you very much. Thanks for doing yourself that favor. Thank you for engaging with that. We just met. That's kind of like a very personal big thing to start doing the first time you beat someone, so thanks for taking part in that. We are going to do a series of releases, and it is going to feel so good. All right, shake it out for me, Etch-a-Sketch, Etch-a-Sketch, woo! Shake it out a bit. If you want to bounce a bit, do whatever you want to do. Feel re-energized. All right, I created this for myself and the people I work with. It's called the letter C, jaw release. Can everyone pick up the letter C, please? Excellent. This can take place if this was an upside down monorail, by the way, here's stop 1, here's stop 2, and here's stop 3. I'm just going to go straight to stop 3. All right, here's the letter C. Pads of fingernails against the jawbone here. Now, if you have long nails, you are going to need to, as we go under here, use the pad of your thumb instead of the point of your thumb. Anyone without long nails is going to get the point of their thumb into this area. But use the pad if you have long nails. All right, here we go. So the pointer finger is going to be about here, near where the jaw turns. Here's the thumb. The thumb is resting on the jawbone itself. Now I'm going to ask you, it's going to feel a bit strange first time around. By the way, if you have any injuries, can you let me know? Any injuries in the jaw area previously? Not today. All right. So we are under here. Specifically, I call it the letter C jaw release because we are about to move this wrist. Think of the wrist as the leader. The thumb goes up and under into the soft, fleshy area on the other side. All right, so it literally looks like this. If I took my fingers away, it's under there. If you need the pad of the finger, looks like that. Let's take it under, try and feel long and extended, try and feel even-footed. Can people feel the soft, fleshy area on the other side? Can I get nods if you can see that? Now that we are up and under there, I just want you to move it slightly back to see if there's any further back it can go, because there's a beautiful little pocket back there where the thumb fits perfectly. Literally, it's like, yuck. Give me a nod if you can feel like it's as far back as it can go. Now that we're in there, we're going to do 20, really 30 or 40 small firm circles. This is a thumb isolation exercise, a thumb isolation exercise, a thumb isolation. We don't want wrists. Great. That might be a bit too much. It's literally that. Tiny, okay, tiny, tiny, tiny. Once you get used to it, you can literally go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We don't want to be grabbing in any way with the fingers. This is just leverage. Back under. Try and get the fingers closer. Let's make a small letter C. The further away you get, the less powerful this is. Let's curve them under. Great. Do we feel like we've done 30 or 40? All right, let's let it go. This is pretty important. This is the one exercise, by the way, later, towards the end, I'm going to ask you to teach someone else in the room to do it. This is the one big takeaway I want you to be able to teach to other people. So this is the next step. I just want you to drop the jaw really low. One active drop, looks like this. And bring it back. I don't want you to lock the jaw, just literally go there and back. Here we go, drop, and come back. Can you feel that one side feels a little different to the other? Does it almost feel like this jaw is now unhinged? The only good kind of unhinged. All right, we're gonna take the other letter C. Let's do it. Let's take it towards the back. The pointer finger is going to be about here. Before we curve around, the thumb is going to rest on the jawbone itself. You're going to take the wrist up and under. Wrist is up and under now. The thumb is up and into the soft fleshy area on the other side. Once you're in there, 30 or 40 small firm circles. By the way, if you found the ball of a muscle, like a little lymph node or something, some people there's a little ball in there for most people, get behind it. I don't want you to be on the ball. Get behind the ball. Try and keep lifting. Some people are leading with their chins. Can you actually let the chin be neutral? 30, 40 small firm circles. Once you're used to it, much quicker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. Let's let it go. Let's do one of those nice clean drops and compare both sides. Did that feel a little bit different than it did before? Almost like a hammock feeling from this insertion of the jawbone to this one. Can you please, I can do that by the way, every hour on the hour and it re-releases. The amount of jaw tension we hold is unsurprisingly enormous. All right, we're gonna take this kind of gesture and move it somewhere else now. Can you pretend you're knocking on a door? Now can you turn these knuckles onto the chin? Great, great, great. Now, again, if you've got nails, use the pad of the thumb, but we are going to do this. I'm going to move my fingers away for a second. I'm on the tongue. I'm on the tongue. Now that I'm on it, can you now do 30 or 40 of these? This is going to be more of a meaty feeling because the tongue is a thicker muscle than what we were on before. Can you feel those little, yeah, we can feel what we're doing here. Once you've done it about 20 times, you could now go and explore, don't go far, but just to one side of the tongue. Maybe you're now on this side of the tongue. That's it. Now that you've done that, let's maybe swing around to the other side of the tongue. And now come back to the center. All right. You will feel, let's take it away, you will feel less of a release in relation to that, but trust me, it's doing good things. We're now going to do a very small, simple thing called a tongue curl. Some people call it a lion tongue. But if this is my tongue, and these are my lower teeth, I'm going to catch the tip of the tongue on the lower teeth and let the center of the tongue try to escape. We're going to try maybe stretch the eyes as we do it at the same time. It looks a bit like this. And then release. This is not a long exercise. This is like a 1.5 second active exercise. Don't lock it. We don't want any lockjaw taking place. Literally, it's like stretch, 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 and we are done. Let's try it all together. And release. I like to brush the sides of the cheeks after I've done that. Literally just a tiny brush, top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom. We're going to do one more of those. One more of those. Here we go. Center of the tongue, escape, center of the tongue, escape, center of the tongue, escape, and then we're going to relax. If I see someone who hasn't quite got it, I'm going to let them be a sort of an exploration exercise for us because we may want to describe this to people one day. Could you try it again for me, please? Great. So in this, it's all about describing, right? That's what education is. So can you try and get the tip of the tongue on the lower teeth here? Now, is there a chance your tongue never has ever left your mouth in this way?
Got a really tiny mouth.
That's okay. It's less, the cavity of the mouth is less relevant than the actual ability to maybe isolate the tongue itself. Can we have a little go? Could you show us? Now, can you get the center of the tongue to try to get out of the lips? Could you do this? Can you go, ah, yeah? Can you go, ah, yeah? Can you go, yeah? Yeah? Can we get very Californian and go, yeah?
Yeah.
Great. Now, can you try and get the back of the tongue to leave the mouth? Try and get the back of the tongue to leave the mouth. Try and curve it out. Try and curve it out. And let's leave it there. Have a brush. Have a brush. Everyone have a brush. All right, now this next jaw release, I rarely show it to anyone, but it's one of the first things I got shown at university, at musical theatre, the equivalent of conservatory. We don't have that word in Australia, but it is literally the primary thing I took away after we do 3-year degrees. So in my 3-year degree, it is the thing I almost primarily took away. Since moving to America, I've sort of ended up calling it the nuclear option. Because it's just if this is not working, this will always do something. But if you're in trouble and you're having a lot of jaw tension, let's do this. Now, only if you are comfortable. Most people are, but I do not mind if you are not. Just watch if you don't. If you are comfortable putting one finger inside the mouth itself. There's hand sanitizer over there. If that's a factor for you, feel free to do that. I will at least show it to you. Do not do it if you're not comfortable putting one finger into the mouth. All right. For those who are, can you do this with your fist? Can you put your other hand over it? We are now mostly interested. Now can you swerve it so it looks like that? Great. Could you now do this with the tips of your thumbs? Now we're not doing a paddle wheel. We are actually, again, if this is a long nail situation, use the pads of the thumbs. Can everyone put the pads of the thumbs like this? Feel free, feel free. Yes. You're like, post-COVID, yum, yum, yum. All right, delicious. Fingers in mouth. All right, here we go. Let's just practice that again. Let's practice that again. If you don't have sharp nails, let's get right on the tips of those thumbs. All right, now can we pretend that we're an action hero or heroine and do one of those like chewing the teeth together like this? Can you see that this muscle's poking out? This is the masseter, the masseter muscle. I sometimes have to do that. Some of my Australian friends are like, why do you say clearer? Like I've started articulating ERs, but without the accent, to try and maintain my heritage. All right, so the masseter muscle, it's this one. Can you put your thumb on it and can you clench the teeth together and feel it pop out? Can you feel it popping out? That's what we're about to get into. Can you feel as you pop it once or twice, because we don't want to overactivate it, that it's like a ball. And there's like a center of the ball, yeah? I'm going to try and ask you to keep lifting through the crown of the head while you do this. So we're going to put one thumb here. The other thumb is going to go between the teeth and the cheek muscle itself in here. Once you have got the two thumbs, I want you to find a ball of the muscle, the center of the masseter ball. Now that we're on it, we're going to do these. It looks like that. That's okay. If you don't want to do it, no need to. That's what we're trying to go for. That's what we're trying to go for. That's what we're trying to go for. Okay. Very quick circles. Very quick circles. Very quick circles. Very quick circles. Let's stop. Let's drop compare. Does that feel a bit different? It's like, can be wildly different. You might see why I call it the nuclear option. All right, this thumb's a bit wet, so sometimes I use my pointer finger over here. All right, other side, pointer finger. Let's clench the teeth together just once or twice to find the center of the ball. We got that? Great. So let's now put a thumb over here on this pointer finger. If you want to use a thumb, you can. Great. Here we go. Let's go inside between the teeth and the cheek. And now get onto it. Center of the ball. Here it goes. Try and keep the circle small. The bigger you go, the less specific this is going to feel. Keep going forward. All right, we're done. Well done, everyone. Sometimes a bit of saliva starts happening, and we're like, we have to stop before the saliva comes out. Well done, everyone. Well done, everyone. Well done, everyone. I'm going to use the ball in my hand. Very good. Thank you. Okay. In general, do you already feel a little bit freer than you did before?
Yeah.
Great. So, can you tell that that would be quite handy each morning? Maybe there's like steam in the shower and you're steaming as you're going and you're just doing a little bit of that, a little bit of that, and maybe a little bit of that, but only if it's a nuclear option kind of day. Shake it out for me. Let's come back to our shoulders. Good, good, good. We're now going to release the sternocleidomastoid. Sternocleidomastoid. So this one. So I acknowledge that some of the things we're doing are like prodding parts of your body you've never prodded before. I appreciate that and I understand that. Again, 5 to 10% activation, because if we go 40 or 50, we might be like, nah, I don't like this feeling. All right, let's hold the cup. Let's turn the cup upside down. Let's put that upside down cup on this extra chunky bands of muscle. Now, please don't stab your thumb into your larynx. That is not what I'm looking for. This, we're going to pull away, pull away, pull away, pull away. Again, if you've had injuries in any of these areas, you may want to go gently or not at all. Pull away, pull away, pull away. Now, where you've naturally put your hands, let's just rest for a second, is usually the best place for this. But now you can go a ½ inch to an inch lower. But make sure you're following the band of muscle. Does that make sense? Band of muscle, band of muscle. Great, let's go back maybe to where we felt comfortable, right to the center. You're all doing so well. Now, here's the thing. I need fingers on thumb, fingers on thumb, fingers on thumb, fingers on thumb. Just doing this is not the thing. Fingers on thumb, fingers on thumb. Can you feel that? Can you feel the difference if we really go for fingers on thumb? Great. Let's go just maybe a ½ inch lower. We're now getting into this part of the band of muscle. Yeah, closer to the sterno part, the stern. Great. Give me a nod if you can feel what we're doing. If you're lost, please let me know. Great. Now, can you actually, instead of like a big groper fish mouth kind of activity, can this be just a little fish? Just a little fish. Yeah, here we go, back here. Let's get a bit higher again, back to where we initially put it. I'm going to try and ask you to grab all the bands of muscle. Some people, when I do this, only go for this front chunky bit. I'm looking for the bands of muscle behind it as well. The bands of muscle behind it as well. Sometimes when you think you're grabbing all the bands, like it goes brrr, and it's like a little ribbon of a couple of other bands fall away. I'm looking for all of it. Can you try now, grab it and leave it? Grab it, leave it. Now, if you're turn in the other direction. I've got my left hand up, so I'm going to turn, keep it, hold it, turn away, hold it, turn away. Could you head this way? This way, this way, this way, this way, this way, that way. Great. Now that we have done that, let's stop, shake it out, etch a sketch. What I wish for you is to find the pressure point with the second or third finger that triggers, maybe, a little bit of a burning sensation up the side of the head and occasionally into the front of the head as well. Some of you are like, that's the last thing I'd like to feel. I don't want burning sensations anywhere near me, thank you so much. But if you do find it and that happens, it means you've done good things for yourself. All right, can we try that on the other side? Cup, upside down, into the sternocleidomastoid. Now, remember it's a little fish mouth thing, not a big old grope of thing. Now we're gonna pull away, pull away, pull away, pull away. As you do this, I'm going to get more specific. Instead of getting the top of the pointer finger, I'm looking actually for the side of the pointer finger. Does that make sense? So instead of doing that or that, I'm looking for maybe the cup is being tipped backwards so that this length of the pointer finger is into the back of the band of the muscle. Does that make sense? So instead of this, that. All right, let's pull away, pull away, pull away, pull away, pull away, pull away. Relax your, you will actually trigger more tension if you do it this way. Can you relax your shoulders? Shake it out, great. Let's go down half an inch if you feel comfortable enough to do so. Can you see how thick this muscle is I've got hold of? Try and get the thickest part of the muscle, not this. That's not gonna do it. Let's go down a bit, down a bit. The thumb, can you see that the sterno insertion is pretty thick down here? If you can, and you feel comfortable, it's almost like now your thumb is dragging up, dragging up, dragging up, dragging up. Sometimes when you get down here, by the way, we've turned the cup backwards almost, like we're tipping it out. Sometimes when you get this low, it triggers feelings down here, across here, maybe in the shoulder. This can trigger a few things. In a good way, I promise. Let's come back up. All right, because we've done a lot of work, let's shake it up. We are now going to turn away from it. So one more time, let's turn it upside down. Let's use this part of the finger to grab hold of this area. Grabbing hold, grabbing hold, grabbing hold. Now, we're going to turn away from the hand. So I've got my right hand, so I'm turning to the left. Hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, release. Any chance anyone felt a little bit of burning? You don't have to. But do you feel like this is freer than it was before? Great. We're now going to move on to the scalenes. I'm just going to check that that time is correct. It's not. Excellent. It's an hour out. I see. Daylight savings. Of course it is. All right, so we're going to put one hand over the other. I'm about to hit the microphone, I think, but could you make contact with your clavicle insertion? So around about here. So what I'm looking for is light pressure and what they call skin blocking, which just means pressure and down a bit. Does that make sense? This is a bit particular. Oh, let's all be on the same side. Can we all be on the left-hand side? So the left clavicle insertion, because I'm about to give you some directions. I'm just going to show you what it is. It's almost like doing 3 things at once, 3 directions. I'm just going to look up to the ceiling like that. So I'm going to bring it back. So it's got a little bit of tilting to the right, a little bit of turning up to look at something on the ceiling. Now, can you let your head fall back to the right? Let the head fall back to the right. Now, let's be clear. Stop for 1 second. I need everyone's chins to go. We're on the left clavicle. Everyone's chins need to look up to the left. Chin has to go up to the left. So that's up to the right. Can you send your chin this way? Does that make sense? So up to the left, up to the left, up to the left, up, left, 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 left. Great. Can you let the head fall back just a little more? Hold it, breathe. In and out, in and out, in and out. And let's let go. Can anyone feel any sort of stretch through there, through various parts of the neck on that one? A little bit, a little bit. Let's try the other side. I'll keep an eye on you. I'll keep an eye on you. I'll keep an extra pair of eyes out, these two. These two. All right, same again, one on top of the other, onto the right clavicle insertion. Now we're gonna Gentle pressure and pull down, so we're skin blocking a little bit. Now we're going to send the chin up to the right. Chin up to the right. Chin up to, that's it. So could you look up, could you try and get your chin to look at the ceiling up there? That's it.
Okay.
Can you feel that?
Yes, now I got it.
Great, chin up to the right, chin up to the right, chin up to the right. No need to do 100% on this, even 5 or 10 is good as long as we're feeling a stretch. And release. Woo! Can everyone feel what just happened? Even just a little. All right, let's sort of stagger ourselves. We're about to put our arms out like this. All right. By the way, can you tell this is like mini yoga for the body? This is mini yoga. It's a good feeling. All right. So I'm giving you everything that I've ever learned in my entire life that's ever been relevant and I've used for more than like a day or 2 or 3 or a week or 2 or 3. Does that make sense? All of these things I'm doing almost all the time, every day. So we're going to put our arms out. Now, for people who are particularly tense or tight, you may want to let your elbows rest a little bit. This is going to unload the stretch. This is going to be a full amount of stretch. Even I would consider unloading just a little bit the first time you do this. So literally this is when I was in Pirates Penzance. Oh, actually shake your hands out. I just want to give a background. This is when I was in Pirates Penzance and I was playing Frederick and it was a rake stage. It was the steepest rake stage I've ever encountered. I almost didn't make it to opening night. My entire body just went into like, it was a bit like being in Mamma Mia on a steel rake stage. Before it went to New York, it was in Melbourne. And I was like, my whole body was like, my sacroiliac joint, what do I do? So I will say to you that after doing a lot of this work, yeah, I had so many problems. Okay. These are the 4 nerve glides that were given to me. So this is especially for people who are doing a lot of this, who are doing a lot of this, who are doing a lot of this, who are doing a lot of arm activity. I suspect you do a bit of arm activity. So we are going to, and you could do a bit of this seated potentially. So here goes the hands. We're literally just going to move the hands back and forward. Try and flatten them. Try and flatten them. Yeah. Once you get the hang of it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now try not to curve the fingers. Can we try, the whole point is to keep the palms flat. Palms flat. Leave the wrists where they are, palms are flat. Let's try and do it quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you are doing fine, you could do less bend of the elbow. You could do more of a full out like that. Okay. So let's say we've done that one. Well done, shake it out. Can anyone feel a little bit of nerve tension? Got it. So if you need to do that, that's fine. The more you do it, maybe you're like, oh, that's good today. Here comes the second of these 4 nerve glides. It looks a bit balletic. Can you do this one? Or a bit YMCA maybe. Can everyone use their left actually? Let's all start with our left hand. Good. If I was standing in front of you like it was a dance class, it would be head goes with heart and back. Head goes with hand and back. Head goes with hand and back. I'm just going to keep doing this, assuming you're looking. Head goes with hand and back. That's it. So hand and head, bring it back. Hand and head, bring it back. Hand and head. That's it. Great. So we do about 10 of these. Now, could you go, I know what I'm doing now, and just go a little swifter. Make it more balletic, like water. So yeah, head and hand, head and hand, head and hand. Could you give me a little more lift through the spine? That's it, shake it up. Can you feel a little bit of nerve activity going on in that one? Here comes the other side. Right hand. So if I'm at the front of the dance class, it goes head with hand, 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 head with hand. Great, let's shake that out. Can you feel a little bit of a nerve pull on that one? Yes. This one's going to even look more balletic. Bounce for me. Okay. Again, I'm going to turn like I'm in a dance class. This took me a moment when this was first showed to me. I would love for you, could actually everyone sort of stand behind me like I'm leading a dance class? Right. I'm not. I was a good mover. I was a good enough mover to wear the wetsuit in Mamma Mia. But that is it. All right. So we're going to go. So we're doing the left hand. The eyes are going to follow the fingers. All right, you ready? So this is the slow version. Up to the right. And now let it flow through and take it back and look at the fingers. Let's just try that slowly. Up to the right, let your eyes follow it. Back away to the left. The most important part of this, and watch me while I'm doing it, is natural like port de bras arms. So we're doing that, but watch me as I do this. The hands come through neutral and then turn away. Does that make sense? So we go up this way, bring the hand through naturally, but then you're going to twist the wrist so it's now looking away from you. Does that make some sense? Yeah? So we're doing this to this. Literally when you go quicker and you just flow, you can go up and away. Up to the right, away to the left. Up to the right, away to the left. I'm just going to watch while you do that. And away to the left, and then away to the left. Great, now shake it out for me. The whole point of the nerve glide is it should feel like a glide, as opposed to like, yeah. Literally, I need you to let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Can we try that? Let's go for it. Here, and let it go. Swing it, 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 and I reckon that's enough. Can people feel the nerve stretch in that one? Okay, now comes the other side. Let's take our hands up to the left. Let me just check. Okay, up to the left, and now bring it back through neutral, twist it and look away. That's it, so we're gonna take it up to the left, let the eyes follow it, let it come through neutral, twist it as you look away at it. Great, so it's almost like you're catching a ball like that, but we're trying to turn it. So let's go up to the left and away to the right. Up to the left and away to the right. Can you try that for me before we let it glide and swing? I just want to see the backswing, that's it. That's what the backswing looks like. That's what the backswing, now we're gonna let it glide. Let's actually just let it flow. Up, away, up. At no point do I want you to hold it. Nothing is held. Swing, 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 swing. Keep going, couple more. All right, shake it out for me. Can you feel that little nerve situation? Let's get back into our little circle. Okay. Okay. The fourth and final nerve glide is going to look very 1980 something. So elbow to elbow, elbow to elbow, elbow to elbow, elbow to elbow, elbow to elbow. Great. Now instead of trying to make it look like a dance, I literally want it just to ripple, ripple. A very low wave as opposed to a high wave. There we go. Can you lift through the crown of the head as you do this? Lifting through the, don't let the chin get away from you. That's it. Great. Let's pause. Again, this is meant to feel like a ripple as opposed to I am controlling it. Right, now we're going to lead with the left elbow. So here comes the left elbow to right elbow, left elbow to right elbow. Whichever way you just went, we're going the other way in short. Now once you get used to it, can you just let it flow like it's the ocean? Flow like the ocean. Lift through the crown of the head. Lift through the crown of the head. Okay, shake that out for me. I want to make sure we hit everything I want to hit. So the four of those put together, I'm literally going to do this for our friend who's videoing because I want you to know how to do these in a row. If you want to join me, please do, but this is just everything in a row. All right, so the hands were out. We're literally going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Congratulations. Now, YMCA, which it shall now be called. I've never called that till today. Let's go away with the head and back, away and back, away and back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. By the way, can you tell that if I do this, it's not a nerve stretch anymore? Because I'm giving my spine away. Spine has to remain intact. Spine remains intact. Spine remains intact. Let's go to the other side. And head with the arm, head with the arm, head with the arm, head with the arm. Let the wrist flow. Let the wrist flow. In a way, weak wrist. All right, let's say we did 10 of those. Then we're going to go into this one to this one. I'll come on the other side. We're going to go up to the left and away to the right. Here we go. Up to the left, swing it through. Up to the left, swing it through. Don't control it, let it swing. Up to the left, back to the right. Up to the left, back to the right. Up to the left, back to the right. Let's say that we've done 10 of those. Other way. So up to the right, away to the left. Here we go. Up to the right, away to the left. Up to the right, away to the left. Up to the right. Great. Up to the right, away from the left. Up to the right, away to the left. Up to the right, away to the left. So 10 of each of those. Shake it out for me. Cool. Can you tell that that's going to be of assistance? Literally, I was 22 years old, I think, and I was like lying on the bed just writing something, you know, like when you're on your chest just writing, and I was like, my hand stopped working. It literally just started like cramping, and I had like a one-man show gig that I had to do up in Canberra, it's the capital of Australia. It's our Washington, DC. I literally got to the day of the show, my hands barely could play the keys, and I had to go see someone, and they were like, oh yeah, you were just doing that a lot, and had to undo everything. Isn't it great how we can, Kristen Hange, the director of Rock of Ages, says this, that your pain contains the medicine. So when you go through something, I know you know this, but let's like put words around it. Things that have been painful to you and for you actually contains the medicine to heal other people with. All right. There's like so many other cool things I want to show you, but now I'm going to start doing only the things that I find deadly essential. I think we're going to get on chairs. Let's get chairs. So one person, now this is the moment, and by the way, we mentioned massage earlier. I swear it's not like intimate massage. You are literally only going to make contact with someone on this part of your forearm. But if you don't want to do that, please, please, please do not. I had this done to me by my husband literally before I came today. Like there are so many days where we have to do this for each other or else we are just gonna get headache, 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 headache. I would like you to be aware. Can you come back to this action we did earlier? Just here are a series of muscles called the suboccipitals. They are responsible for many of your headaches. And it can happen simply by just living like that for too many days on Earth. Which is why that lifting through the crown of the head is one of the most healthy things you can do for yourself and encourage other people to do. Can you do those brushes again? Brush, brush, brush. Now let's leave it there. Can you tell that you might feel more over than you normally are? So we are now, I just wanted you to know that they're called the suboccipitals. Let's get to some chairs. Again, if you do not want to have someone put their forearm on you, don't do it. And if you don't want to put your forearm on someone, let's get into pairs. Hands up who's happy to do this to someone. Use this part. Who's happy to do it? Oh, hands up if you're not happy to do it. If you don't, thank you so much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe I can be 10. I have to demonstrate on someone. So, this is for the trapezius. Can everyone just make contact with here? Great. Let's make contact with your other one. There it is. Can you tell that that's where we carry like so many of our shoulder issues? Okay, so who would like to be the person who I show this to first? Okay. All right. Honestly, changed my life, and I made this up myself. This is one of the 50% of the exercises I made up myself. Okay. So I'm going to go gently, and you're going to let me know if you could do with more pressure. Okay. So literally for leverage, I usually put my, I'm going to do this side first. I usually put my hand on my wrist, like that, and that's for leverage. I'm probably going to put my left foot forward because I'm going to need some leverage. And now, there are 2 or 3 places where this usually is amazing, or hurts, therefore is amazing. So I'm going to put it here. Perfect, thank you very much for letting me know. I'm going to now do half the weight of that. Can you breathe for me? I'm going to use half my weight. Use half my weight. Is that acceptable? Could you now tilt your head to the right? That's it. Does that increase something? Mm-hmm. Great. Leave it there. Bring it back. And even that's enough. Can you feel what that was? Could you feel what that did? Mm-hmm. Does it feel ever so slightly less tense than it did before?
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you for letting me show people. Thank you for being our guinea pig. I'm definitely going to do that side. I can't wait to do that side. Now, I do want to add that once we can accept a certain amount of pressure, then we're like, you could actually probably go harder than that. And then you give a bit more of a lean. And this is the other thing. For the person who it's being done to, you can do that, but Lord, you can do this. Okay, they're the two I would recommend first. For anyone this is going to be done to, if this was my left, I would take it away. I would try and now do that and look to the floor. Okay, here we go, other side. So my hand is on my wrist. I'm probably going to lead with my right foot for leverage. I'm going to not go too hard. Is that amount of pressure acceptable?
More.
Is that acceptable?
More.
Great. How about this?
Oh, that's good.
Now could you tilt your head to the left? Great, we're going to leave it there for a bit. Keep breathing. Just keep breathing, it's okay. If you want to, you could take your eyes to the floor just the tiniest, tiny bit. Great. And now you're going to bring it back. And now just to regular, just to normal, bring the head back. And now we're going to stop. Great. Could you feel what that did? Does it feel... Does it feel weirdly like you didn't even know you had that tension?
Yes.
Yes. So for those of you who are comfortable, this is the moment where I'm going to teach you to teach other people because you're going to do it. All right. Now, what I do want, whoever's about to do this, hands up, can you pair up? We should pair up to start with. Who is happy to be paired up? Who's happy to be paired up? As in like, who's happy to go with who? Should we match up? You don't mind? Great. Could you come over here? Oh no, you go over there. Who's happy? Yeah. Could we, do you two want to pair up together? Do the two of you mind pairing up together? Okay, perfect. So the chair's going to have to come a bit forward off the wall. Chair off the wall. You are going to just sit upright. I don't need you on the front of the chair, I just need you a bit upright. Great. So the person, you're like, but who's going first? Who's A and who's B? I don't understand. Could you keep your eyes on me because you can, and the way I'm describing this. The people who are about to have this done to you, you're not going to hear a word I say. I'm speaking to the people who are doing the action, all right? So for the people who are sitting in the chairs, could you please stack the ribs like we described earlier? This works best when the ribs are stacked. Have a look at me, this does not work well when the top rib is unstacked. So we just maybe do a roll or two and then stack it. Great. Could you please hold that and lift through the crown of the head? Okay. Now, for the people who are about to do this, after much trial and error, I have found that the further forward on the forearm you go, the more it's not good for you. I want you to go between here and here. Just find the sort of meatier part of the forearm that is comfortable for you. Again, if the person is saying, press more, and you're like, I'm not that strong, please don't ask me to do that. Don't go harder than is comfortable for you. This needs to work for both of you. By the way, if you happen to live with someone and you're like, but I'm the one who's more like tense today, so can I go second? As in, can I be in the chair second? Because like it creates a bit of, do you know what I'm saying, action through here. Anyway. All right, so let's go on the left-hand side of the person. So stand on the left-hand side, on the left-hand side, on the left-hand side. So like I was saying, let's grab, you're gonna grab your wrist. Actually, let's do this. Fist up like this. Oh my God, do you remember there used to be slap bands? Yeah. Oh my God. At the show, you call it a fair, I think. We call it a show. But at like the Rockhampton show, it used to be like little bands. All right, let's pretend we're doing that with our heads, but don't hurt yourself. Now, you're gonna take it's almost like your elbow is gonna be resting by your side. Resting by your side, you're gonna take your left foot forward. Great. Now, we are looking for, those who are about to do it, we're looking for here, like the center of the length of this part of the shoulder. We're looking for the center. On some days, people are like, can you just get a bit closer to my neck? And on some days, like, can you get further away from the center of my shoulder? We're just gonna try and go right in the center. So here we go. Left foot is forward. Do not go heavy for this person. They've never had this done. Let's go gently. So now, can the meaty part of your forearm around here make contact with their shoulder. There we go. So think of putting 15 to 20 to 25% energy, maybe get closer to the chair, maybe get closer to the chair. I just want to make sure it's comfortable for you. Now we're putting light pressure down. Can the people in the chairs nod if this is doing something? Is it doing something? Is it doing something? Is it doing something? Now, is it doing something? And if not, do you mind me showing? Great. So have a look as I do this. So I'll try and be gentle. Does that, now, before you turn your head away, can you feel any pressure there?
Yeah.
Great. Now you're going to take your head. Now, can everyone in the chairs take your head to the right? Don't twist to the right. Turn, like, that's it. Can you feel that?
Yeah.
Now bring it. Now everyone bring it back to neutral. Everyone bring their heads back. And now people take their arms off. Great. Could the people in the chairs feel what was going on? Great. Do you want to have a go for me? So we might, because if anyone who's maybe smaller in stature, or I hope that's not offensive, I just say if you happen to be smaller in stature, there's going to be less natural weight going through the person. Yeah. So you may need to get over them like that. And let's be clear that we want the part that's going to be good for you. All right, let's do that. Can we all just look what's happening here, because it's best to get used to it. Great. Let's put some weight on. I think your elbow could go further back.
Further back.
Yeah, so I think it's there. Can you try and now put a little pressure down? Can you feel something?
I feel it like here though, not.
Okay, let's go back up then. Got it? Let's stop for a second. Let's be clear where the trapezius is, because that's what we're trying to do. This is the trapezius, here. So we are getting onto it here. We're not too far forward. We don't want to be over on the clavicle. Does that make sense? We want to be back a little. So maybe could you take your elbow back like that?
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Let's have a go at that. So just maybe have a little look. Let's have a little look. Now maybe tilt the elbow back just a little bit. Could you take your head away for me, please? Could you put a little more pressure down, if possible?
Yeah, that I feel.
There we go. There we go. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. And now take it off and bring the head back. Great. Well done, everyone. We have about 7 minutes left. This is the last thing we're going to do, so let's change sides. As in, not people change sides. You stay sitting. Let's do the other side. All right, let's do it. So left arm up. We are going to little slap band. We are going to put our right foot forward. We are going to put the meaty part of our forearm into the center. The trapezius is here. The trapezius is here. The trapezius is here. If the person can't feel it, you might need to rock your shoulder back ever so slightly. Does that make sense? Great. Let's put some pressure down if you're comfortable. Now the person sitting, take your head away to the left. Your ear goes towards your shoulder. Your ear goes towards your shoulder. If you can the ear go towards the shoulder? Could you literally take your head that way? If you can.
I like having the crick in my neck.
Okay, fair enough. Totally. All right, now can you try to look towards the floor? Can the person look towards the floor a little bit, looking down that way? Keep your head to the left. That's it. And try and look down at your hands here. Look down at this hand. Great. Well done. Hold. Let's stop. Head back and hands off. Did we have a question? Do we have a desire? Are we good? No. Okay. Let's swap. By the way, people in the chair, did you feel that? Okay. Let's swap. Thank you for participating in this unusual activity, which is going to change your life. And hopefully the life of your loved ones, or any friends who are willing for you to put their forearm on their shoulder. All right, so remember, we're looking for the trapezius, which is up around this area. Everyone, this is the trapezius. Can everyone who's seated feel their trapezius? There. Not the person who's standing. Can the person who is sitting use one hand to go over to the left? Feel it? Rub it a bit. That's the one. The person standing, take note, because this is what you're about to get into. Take the left hand over to the right. Can you feel it? Do we know what we're about to do? Fantastic. So here's the last thing probably for the day. Can the person stand on the right-hand side of the chair? Right-hand side of the chair, right-hand side of the chair, right-hand side. Slap band the hand very gently. So now, right foot forward. Are we going to be on the right-hand side? We're going to be on the right-hand side, right-hand side, right-hand side. No worries at all. It's like left, right. All right, here's the slap band. All right, so we got this. Remember, chunky part of the forearm towards the back. We are now going to get closer to the chair if you need to. The further you get away, the less leverage you have. So now, can you put the meaty part of your forearm into their trapezius? And just put weight down. It's a down. Can the people seated feel this? Great. If they want a little more weight and you can provide more weight, do a little more weight if you can. Now the person seated, take their ear to the left shoulder. Ear to, if you can, just a little bit there. Good one, I like that face. Good. Ear to the left shoulder. Ear to the left shoulder. Maybe you might want to look down to your left fingertips. Maybe you want to look, maybe you want to look down to your left fingertips. Maybe that's what you want to do. And head back release. Release arm. Can the people, and hands off, and head back. Can the people seated feel what just happened? Perfect, let's swap sides. We are now on the left-hand side of the chair. So we got our left foot forward, right arm up, left foot forward. Yeah. Left head is around, that right. It's like, ow. All right, let's get closer to the chair, closer to the chair. We're gonna use the meaty part of the forearm on their trapezius, which is a thick part of the muscle. Now we're gonna put some weight down, only as comfortable as they can be. Can you take your elbow back a little bit? Can you make this a fist? Can you move your elbow back this way? I'm gonna show you. Do you mind if I show? Yeah. Now, the person seated, take your ear down and to the right, ear down and to the right. Is that okay? Yeah. So ear down to the right. And maybe you might look at your right fingertips. You might just try to twist the head to look at those fingertips. Could you take your whole head to look at the fingertips if possible? Great. And we are going to hold that. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. And we're going to take the head back and arms off. Head back, arms off. Did you notice that my elbow was further back? Yeah. Do you mind just showing me this? Of course. Everyone, we needed a little bit of description. Everyone, just attention over here. Everyone, attention over here for a second. We just needed a bit more of an explanation, so everyone who needs to know something can learn from the other person. So you're going to put your arm this way, but you see how you're cocked that way? Yeah. Can you make it more of a right angle? Right angle. But use, do you mind if I touch your arm? That. That. So it's more of a right angle actually in the shoulder. Okay. Great. Excellent. Let's take it off. Everyone shake it out for me. I think we've got like just a few minutes left. Everyone stand up for me and come back to our circle, please. Thank you very much for participating in that. I know it was a kind of intense thing. All right. We're going to finish off with a little bit of vocal fold chat. I'm just going to tell you everything. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to tell you how it is for the next 5 minutes. This is genuinely the thing. Can you imagine me talking to my 77-year-old mother and my 85-year-old aunt about this? Because I end up like this at the end of the day. Yeah, right? Can everyone put their two fingers together? These are your vocal folds. Your vocal folds live in your larynx. Your vocal folds are the length of your little fingernail. They are tiny little things. Much like a bow on a string, air moving through these vocal folds, waving together thousands of times a second, makes sound. Okay. Here's the thing. If I go, hey, hey, stop it! Can you hear the pressure in my voice? But if I access my resonators, can everyone just go, it's so great to be here?
It's so great to be here.
Can you do it? Can you just a single person?
It's so great to be here.
Great. Now that's an example of nasal twang. I want to let you know that in order to make nasal twang, your soft palate has to fall. It has to fall. Can everyone do this with their hand and go, I am? I am. Now can you lift up and go, oh yeah? Oh yeah. Now can you tell that you were bright, but for a different reason? There's a second kind of twang. Can everyone, do not put this in, everyone peace sign? Do not put it into your larynx. I just want you to gently put it like a wishbone under the jawbone itself. Don't do this, just gently, yeah? At this level is a thing called aryepiglottic narrowing. Its activation looks like an ostrich or an emu head going that way, that way, that way. Can everyone go to Southern California for a moment and go, oh yeah? Oh yeah. Now can you tell you're not particularly nasal when you do that? That's the second kind of twang we can use. All right, I just wanted you to know, there's that one if you want to get some power, and there is that one if you want to get some power as well. Check it out. Just a bit of information I wanted you to have. In order to create less vocal pressure, do you know what? I'm going to reframe this. First thing in the morning, after some of those exercises we did, let's say you're in the shower, you've got some steam going. I just want you to do some sirens. I imagine you've heard of sirens. Yeah, but how we do sirens matters, like how we do the little things. Can everyone just go, Here we go. Can we go one person? Can you do it for us? Good, good, good. Well done. Can you go? Thank you for doing that. Can we hit a little skip in the sound? That means we've been applying a bit too much pressure at that point in our range. Does that make sense? Hey, stop it! So if I go, a gentle siren is the best diagnostic tool we have when we wake up in the morning to go, oh, that part of my range needs a little bit of massaging. My version of massaging that is literally if this is the length of my low to high, if it cuts out there, I would literally do this. Does that make sense? We find the place if there's a little catch and get near it and then sense it, massage through it. Can everyone just pretend that there is a catch in their voice and we're about to massage at a certain point in our range? By the way, low to high, one of the most important things you could tell your kids if they happen to be singing is in order to make a higher pitch, the folds need to thin and elongate. No one told me. I was getting paid very well before someone told me that information. Do you know what I mean? Like if I didn't know it, who else doesn't know it? So can we play our vocal folds like we've grabbed the back and front of an elastic band? Can we go Good one, let's do it again. Can we open up to moo? Can you pretend there's maybe a lemon-sized object in your mouth? Moo. Can you hear the space in my mouth? Can we all do that? Moo. Great. So let's pretend now that we've got a catch in the sound somewhere. And let's pretend it's about here, and we're going to massage through it and come all the way back. Here we go. Got it. Can we now do one clean ma siren that goes as far as we possibly can and then comes back? Here comes everyone together, ma, with a bit of a lemon in your mouth. Here we go, ma. Not bad at all. I'm just going to pick someone before we finish. Do you mind doing that for us? Actually, let's start here. And now this is not a bad example. Let's pretend we're working with someone, like one of the kids at school. And can you just do something? Now that's pretty high, isn't it? Can you come down here? Great. So that's a way to describe speech quality, where we would normally speak, like the quality of the voice. Oh, I also want you to know this. The vocal folds are thicker where we speak naturally. And the further we go, the thinner they get, and then we come back and they get a little bit thicker again. So we just wanted to establish like a neutral place. So, Perfect. Can you start there? We're going to go ma, ma. Now, that usually makes us feel a little bit exposed and a little bit vulnerable. Maybe, yeah. It feels a little bit vulnerable to do that. So, not a bad example of could you from now on just go ma each morning. We establish what we can do, don't go beyond what we can do until the point where we're going to about there, maybe 7 days from now, maybe 21 days from now we can get that far, and maybe a month from now we can get that far. Does that make sense? So as part of what I would love for you most of all to do, apart from like this, and this, and this, yeah, is to do some closed hum sirens and open vowel sirens. Okay, it's gonna be a good day. But, oh no. Yep. And then open up to some open vowel sirens on a moo, a ma, or a ma. I think that's the time we have. Thank you very much for your focus. Thank you for attention. Can we just put our hands back here? Can you just be aware of your spine? Close your eyes for me. Aware of your spine, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Feel the length of it. Maybe feel the electricity of it. Maybe it is a particular color for you or a series of colors. Feel the length of it, the electricity in it, and let's be honest, the power of it. Establish your center. You can do this at any point, anywhere. And now that you've become aware of it, bring yourself back into the room slowly and open your eyes again. Well done, everyone. I hope you have the most magnificent day. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.